Hi guys, my name is Erica Hargaden, certified child sleep consultant with my private practice Babog. You'll find me at babog.com. I'm a mum of three and I'm also the creator of the online course, the Sleep Series, which is 5 courses that will help you get the most out of your child's sleep throughout the age ranges. Something I want to talk about today is feeding to sleep. You might see on my grid that I have a post on Sleep Tip Tuesday in relation to this. And I want to touch on maybe some of the pros and some of the cons that you might come across if you are practicing feeding to sleep with your little one. So it's very handy, isn't it? You feed them, be that breast or bottle, and they go off to sleep and down into their sleep environment and they are happy out. Now, what I'll say to you is a lot of what I'm going to talk about here is relevant to older babies. So I'm kind of talking about 4 months, 6 months plus. If you are the parent of a newborn and you're watching this, I'd say continue to watch it, but take it kind of, a little bit in the background. When you're a newborn parent, you survive. You're flying by the seat of your pants. You're absolutely doing what you can to get as much sleep as possible, and that is what you should be doing. It's when your child starts to mature from 4 months onwards, when the circadian rhythms form and their sleep cycles come into place, that feeding to sleep and continuing to practice it can become a bit of an issue. But why? So basically, when you feed your child to sleep, they're all snuggled in with you and you feed them, be that breast or bottle, and you put them down into their sleep environment and they are happy out. But your child's sleep isn't stagnant like that. It goes in cycles throughout the night and in cycles when they nap. So very often when your child comes into light sleep later on during their sleep, they will wake fully, seeking what put them to sleep to be repeated. So it's like a sleep association. It's part of their sleep, and it also becomes part of their sleep maintenance. So you will have to repeat what you were doing at bedtime or sleep initiation time further on during their sleep maintenance. So let's say you have a 9-month-old baby who is breastfed, who maybe could go through the night with just one feed. They are maybe waking 3 or 4 times a night seeking feeds if they are being fed to sleep, potentially. Okay? Now, I'm not here to tell you that you're doing something wrong or right, okay? I'm here really to impart the information, what's kind of behind things and why you may be experiencing the things that you're experiencing. But if you're feeding to sleep and you're happy, grand job. Just maybe remember this is here and you can touch on it when or if issues arise. So the same kind of principle would apply with naps. So let's say your child is fed to sleep and put down for a nap. It's very, very likely that they're going to wake 45 minutes later because what was present when they went to sleep is no longer there. And nap sleep cycles, so daytime sleep cycles, are generally 45 minutes. So this is very often why people would come to me and they'd say, I have a 45-minute cat nap and I can't get beyond it. That potentially is one of the reasons why they're not able to get beyond it. You may have a child who is settling themselves off to sleep, no problem, and not fed to sleep, okay? But later on in the night, they wake and their association potentially is that when they wake, they get a feed. So that can be an issue around feeding and sleep as well, that nearly kind of like a learned hunger, like an expectation that it's coming, that it's going to be there. And very often where there is multiple feeds at night, where perhaps the nutritional need to be fed at night has passed, it can have an impact on daytime hunger. So I would very often hear from parents that they have like a fussy feeder during the day, but potentially the fussy feeding during the day is down to, kind of reverse cycling and a child seeking and being given more feeds at night. But how do you get away from feeding to sleep? Routine. Routine, and structure. Feed, play, sleep cycles. So really feeding after sleeps rather than right before sleeps is one of the key things. Now, I absolutely acknowledge that forming structure with a baby and routine is potentially easier when you've a bottle-fed baby. With a breastfed baby, it can be a little bit harder, but it's possible. And I have done this in my private practice with lots and lots of parents. I amn't the type of consultant that when you come to me, I'm like, no, you have to stop breastfeeding. Absolutely not. This is your journey and I am here to support you on it in terms of your choices, but give you the honesty in terms of maybe how those choices are impacting your child's sleep. So by putting structure and routine on feeding and structure and routine on sleeping, you have the chance of getting away from feeding to sleep. One of the things that people often say is that with reflux, the only way that they can get a feed into a child is to feed them to sleep and feed them when they're asleep. But potentially, guys, what you're doing is putting the irritant into your child's stomach right before they initiate sleep. And that in turn could easily draw them out of sleep later on. So by practicing that feed, play, sleep cycle, you are getting the opportunity to allow a feed sit in your child's stomach for a period of time to settle it before they are heading off to initiate and, please God, maintain their sleep. This is really well covered in my sleep series courses that are available on babo.com. I'd encourage you to take a look at those in terms of providing you with strategies and the toolkit to get on top of really any issues that you're experiencing with your child's sleep. If you want to learn more about me, my website, as I said, is babo.com, or you can email me on info@babo.com.